the ban list kind of makes you think that Konami really wants to kill this deck completely. I mean, what with the banning of Laval Chain before the clowns made it over here, and this past ban list right now, Exiton and Rhoda just went to 1 and got banned. So, you know, it's really not going to stop me. I mean, I topped 4 with this deck, you know, before this ban list occurred. So I'm gonna give it another go just to see how things would go, and if any of you guys think there's anything that could be fixed up in this deck, I'm more than happy to hear your thoughts in the comments below. So we're gonna do things a little bit different today. Instead of just going through, you know, normally the monsters, spells, and traps, we're just gonna go backwards. So let's start off with the traps just to get them out of the way, because they're relatively, you know, common, you know, that sort of thing. It's basically just nothing but one-ofs right here. It's just, you know, bottomless, compulse, you know, warning, ring, vanities, and compulse, as well as 2 deep prisons, because I feel like battle traps are not completely dead. At least not this one. I feel like deep prison is sort of making a comeback because Mirror Force is making the bigger comeback right now. And well, you know, it's Mirror Force, so, you know, you can't really outshine the original except for, you know, the ones in Bosch, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah, battle traps are not completely dead. At least not in the case of, you know, the aforementioned ones that I just mentioned. And moving on to the spells, we got the inaugural double instant fusion, because Norden is now a thing. 2 Forbidden Lance, because if there's anything that I learned from running Galaxy is that back row is still a bitch no matter what format you're playing in. And that claim is easily backed up by 2 MSTs. And as for the one-ofs, you know, the 1 Rhoda, because fuck you, Konami. Foolish, Book of Moon, and Regeki. Alright, now moving on to the monsters. And the reason why I wanted to go into the monsters last, as well as the extra deck last, is because we got a big stack of monsters right over here. See? Yeah. It's a lot bigger than the stack of, yeah, a little bit more bigger than the stack of the spells and traps. So, alright, so let's start. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Before we even begin the monster lineup, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I don't really run the Pendulum build. I'm not a big fan of the Pendulum build because guess what? The Pendulum build, that's Performages. That's pure Performages. That's not ClownBlade. This is ClownBlade. ClownBlade is running the 1 or 2. You know, I'm not going to lie, I ran 2,000 blades. But you always run 3 halberds. It's just like a hat in some way, you know, when you're running the Trap Tricks engine, you know, you got the 1 Dio and the 3 Murmelios. But in this case, you know, it's just the heroics. And like I said, I ran 2. I dumped it down to 1. I felt like, you know, you only need just the 1. Every time when I had the second one still in the deck, it would just not go to grave quick enough, or I would just draw into it with Rhoda, or search with it with Rhoda, I'm sorry. Or just draw into it with something else that was unintentional. And speaking of which, now here are the clowns. Okay, these are the clowns. Running double trick clown. I had it at 3. I thought it would be better at 3, and that's and having it at 3 is what got me, is what landed me top 4. But I'm just gonna keep it at 2 because, you know, I have a better alternative that doesn't cost me 1,000 of my life points. You know, this is what kills me really quick, but I'm not gonna, you know, kill myself too quickly with running 3. So I'm just gonna keep it at 2. And so, keeping up with the clowns, you know, the Performages, there's 3 damage jugglers, which is also a searcher from the graveyard, as well as somewhat of a battle fader, and 3 hat trickers. I feel like hat trickers really do help out, especially once Infinity comes out. You're gonna need all those level 4s to be brought out, so you can go into Ptolemaios, and then, you know, go into shenanigans with Nova and then Infinity. Not to mention the fact that this deck really does swarm a whole lot. So I would love to, you know, keep swarming in right there and just to go into so many rank 4s and just to overwhelm the opponent, because I did that. That's how, like I said, that's what landed me top 4. Okay, here's the alternative to that 3rd Trick Clown, which is double Flame Eater, because here's the thing with Trick Clown, like, yeah, you do take 1,000, but here's the thing. How about I just take half that damage, and that other half can go to my opponents? You know, they take damage, I take damage, and voila, 1,000 Blades is revived from the grave. Yeah, I feel like it's a whole lot better, because, you know, again, half the damage you're taking, your opponent is taking damage as well. Special summon, you know, shenanigans. Even though I'm not into the Pendulum build, that doesn't excuse me not using Pendulums at all, because I am, which is just the 1, in this case, the 2 copies of it, which is Plush Fire. It's mainly because, you know, I'm running so many Performages in here, balancing them out with, you know, other one-ofs and so on. I felt like it was necessary since I do draw into so many Performages, and I got a lot of them that are in the deck that need to be sent to grave a lot quicker. Because Mathematician is at 1 and Foolish is at 1 and Lavable Chain is dead, they need to be sent to grave one way or another. Even if they're sent to the field, you know, that's fine as long as, like, you know, it's a floater. Because come on, floater. Since there's a lot of spellcasters running 3 gigabytes, just to, you know, keep special summoning, and it's a level 4, so it makes it even better. And also searchable with King of the Feral Imps. The 1 Photon Thrasher, because it does start off the plays when Harbird can't do it. And the 1 Mathematician, and 2 Veilers, because Veiler is Bay. And moving on to the extra deck, which is no surprise to many. No surprise to many, which is, you know, the double Norden, the inaugural Norden. King of the Feral Imps, Trapeze Magician, Dark Rebellion, Cowboy, Ptolemios and Diamond, because we don't have Infinity yet. 101, the other alternative, the closest to Infinity that we got. Excalibur, because we're I rarely ever use Excalibur sometimes, but when it does work, it does work. I might have to replace it with something else. I might replace it with a Downer Magician. I'm still not sure yet, because Downer Magician, like, come on, so many spellcasters here. It really does help out, but, you know, 4K attack beat stick, like, you know, who can argue with that? Okay, so my favorite Heartland Draco, Castel, Black Ship, Kagaga Samurai, and also Bujinki Amaterasu, because this, like I said, it does work. It's any level 4s, and we do banish a lot. You know, with Bottomless also banishing the stuff that we got. You know, it's good to retrieve those cards when they get banished. And like I said, because Damage Dealer does get banished a whole lot more. And if you really want to get back that 1,000 Blades, because sometimes they just go for that 1,000 Blades so you don't pull off your shenanigans. They manage to banish that from the grave. It's a good way to bring it back, you know, even if it's on the field and you don't, you know, as long as it hits the grave, you know, that's all that matters, you know. Alright guys, so that just about does it for my ClownBlade deck profile. I'm really proud of this build. The first time I used it at locals, like I said, I got 4th place with it. I was aiming for 3rd, but you know, I'll take that. I'll take what I can get. I'm hoping that I could top with it again at some point, even though a lot of the ingredients for this deck was already taken away. You know, 1 Rhoda, no Exiton, as well as a Lavable Chain. You know, I was aware of Lavable Chain, so you know, I was willing to take the risk. So I'm gonna try it once more. I don't know when that'll be, but like I said, I'm actually trying to. And if you guys have any suggestions on how to rearrange the deck, you know, if you have any ideas, I'm all ears. I'm all more than happy to hear you guys speak out. So that just does it for this deck profile, and I hope to see you guys later. Adios.